Connections, a forum for relationship expression and healing. In this episode, number 91, holy cow, we have invited Hangout Host to see what Hangout Host does. And Connections Forum offers insights and healing conversation about relationship, personal expression, and self-development. And we want to give you the tool and inspiration to handle the issue which comes up for everyone sooner or later. And you can see all the past episodes at the hangoutonconnection.com. Hi, I'm Margherita Lotus, and I've been here for a long time. That's my introduction. Over to you, Heidi.
This was a super short introduction. I'm Heidi, as you probably know, and I'm hanging out with Hangout hosts today. All the people are here. There's Sherry Valentine, or Valentine, I always get it wrong. There is Elaine Nieberding, there's Melanie Hall, and there's Sarah Alter, and Margherita and me. We are all excited about Hangouts, and we have created shows, and we want to sort of do a brainstorming about how things are going and what we are doing, why we are doing, and what sense it all makes. And whatever comes up, we haven't scripted anything. It's really a hanging out episode today. So I am hosting the show together with Margherita, Hangout on Connections, and then I have another show which is called The Wisdom Factory, together with my husband, Mark Davenport, where we go into really leading-edge topics which are often a little bit more academic and less colloquial, and they are touching real-world problems. We have in 2 weeks, we have an update from the Middle East, and next week we have something with music. So go to Hangout on Connection is the wrong one. The Wisdom Factory, and you will find it out. So that's enough about me. Who of you want to present themselves? The first one gets the word.
I will go.
Okay.
My name is Melanie Hall, and I'm the host of Lights Camera HOA. You can hashtag that and easily find us, Lights Camera HOA. And we do our show, it's been over a year now, maybe a year and a half, and we broadcast on Mondays. Thank you, and I'm so happy to be here and just hang out and talk with other hosts.
Yeah, and I want to add to your show, because with this remarkable on your show that you give to newbies the possibility to practice, to be on Hangout shows, and to even lead Hangout shows. I think this is really the outstanding, let's say, feature of your show.
Yes, we try to help them get over their video camera shyness and just talk about themselves, which is the best topic you can ever talk about.
You won't forget. Okay. Who else?
I'll go.
Okay.
My name is Sarah Alter, and my hangout is the Midweek Zap, and we talk. I have different guests, and we talk about a multitude of topics for small business owners.
On Wednesday, right?
This is Wednesday, and you have quite how do you say it? Illustrious guests in your shows, you know, and much to learn. Yeah,
there is
great.
There's always much to learn, and and it seems as though, especially in the business world and dealing with the web, there are always changes, and so I think one of the benefits that the guests bring to the show, their area of expertise, whatever that might be, you know, it's anything from meditation to working with Google Analytics to improve your website and everything in between. So there's always an interesting topic. One of the things that I am really happy that I started from the get-go was making it a very conversational style, and because I had a number of guests who said, "Whoa, that was so much fun," um, and I think that the conversational style really leads to audience engagement, which which I believe is a very important part of a hangout on air, especially since hangouts are, I call it, historically preserved on YouTube. And when the audience is engaged, that engagement carries over to viewers who watch the show later.
I think we will talk about this afterwards. We'll just finish the round of the presentation.
Mhm.
Cherie or Elaine? Cherie, I see you are unmuted, so go.
Oh, hi, I'm Cherie Valentine, and I'm a spiritual intuitive and EFT healer coach and mentor, helping you to just have more harmonized professional and personal success. And I joined the Hangouts a little bit later, I think, than the rest of these ladies, but they are all so amazing and gently and lovingly and kindly took me under their wings and helped me embrace this arena about a little over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago.
Great, thank you. Elaine?
Hi, everybody. I'm Elaine Nieberding, and I am the host of the Holy Shift Show, hashtag Holy Shift Show. And my shows are all about bringing more fun and play into our lives and giving people an opportunity to get together, because I often have a lot of guests together on my shows, to gift each other, lift each other as we get through these paradigm shift times together. So I do health and wellness topics and some about communication on social media, internet marketing, but it's basically, it's an arena where we can shift our perspective and live in a more fulfilling, happy, and collaborative way.
Yeah, thank you. What I find so amazing that we are all doing our shows and they're in different areas in some way, at least touching different areas, you know. A little bit the inside science, let's say, and the outside, the techniques and skills, and it's wonderful what is possible. And at this point, I would take off what Sarah said about the possibility of being here in a different way, and that guests come and have fun. We saw that too in the Wisdom Factory, that there are people who normally give talks, you know, and they stay there for half an hour and talk. And I said, no, we want to have conversations. And after this conversation, they were so excited and said, oh, this is so fun. And it's, for instance, these people where we do the 4th show now with Said Dalabani and Elsa Malouf about Middle East situation. They have really, how do we say? We say in German, taken a bit into the flesh. They are really like we probably at the beginning when we met the Hangouts. We thought, oh, no. So the next question, what I would like to ask you is, how come that you began and that you are still here? What is it? What motivates you?
What keeps us going? Oh my goodness. I think for me, it is, every Monday, it's fun and it puts a different spin on Mondays. You know, people usually dread Mondays, but I don't. And I like, we keep doing it because it's enjoyable and because there are always people who need to gain experience on camera. This is a thing that is becoming more important, especially when job interviews take place on video calls now, because then you don't have to have a plane ticket going across country or to different areas, and it's more efficient and time saving. So there's more reasons for people to get over their video or on camera shyness. So that's what keeps me personally going, is to I delight in seeing people progress and move on. Either they, we have a big thing of attrition where people come on and they gain the confidence, and sometimes they get their own shows, or they've gotten better employment or whatever it is. So we don't have people that are on repeat guests all the time because they've overcome it, and that's the joy I get, to see those move on, in a way.
Yeah, I remember Ron Snyberger. He was there, and when I watched your show once, and he needed the encouragement. Next time I come on the show, and now he's doing shows all over the place. So you have done a great job.
Thank you. Well, we have a really good team. The team makes it work. Just not me. I'm just the facilitator in a way.
Okay, I think this gives another keyword, facilitator. Who feels themselves as facilitator?
And I will spell that facilitator.
This has got your name all over it, Elaine.
O-R. I think it must have been on one of the shows with you, Margherita.
For sure.
We came up with that one. I began my venture into doing Hangouts by taking a course in late 2013. And I just felt like, I'm kind of a ham, and I would like to have outreach that is beyond my local area. And this Hangout platform, it doesn't cost me anything to use it, so why don't I try? And in 2014, I started out with doing a book club, which was it was like a private group, so I was getting lots of practice and helping other people, but it wasn't viewed by a lot, so I gained my confidence in my skills that way. And then for the next couple months in 2014, I was just trying out different topics. I was doing some laughter yoga topics because I am a holistic nurse and a laughter yoga teacher. And then I did some shows just talking about Google Plus because I was learning about being in community there. As the year went on, I thought, okay, I'm really comfortable now in managing some of the techie things and my own ability to talk rather comfortably. So it was in October of 2014 that I launched my show. And then I basically found that on a week-by-week basis, I would have a sense of what I felt from the inside to respond to the larger community would be a good topic to talk about. I so much enjoyed continuing doing this because of the sense of community that I've had and developed with my fellow Hangout hosts. And if you guys weren't here, I don't think I'd be here. Our support of each other's shows, our conversations, our little chats in the wee hours, where we Google Hangout message people, hey, can you come on my show? Or could you help me brainstorm with this? Such amazing support, such wonderful friendships. That's what's kept me going.
Yeah, wonderful. And I think this community aspect is very, very strong here on this platform and around us. Sarah, you. Are you still here? Yeah, here you are.
I don't know. I actually started out doing it myself. I think I did 3 of those. And that was the very beginning of 2014. I've lost track of time. And I had 3 people at my first show. And I had done a couple of webinar presentations where the only people that came were colleagues. It reached no one in particular. So I had 3 people at my very first Hangout, and I went. And then somebody in Norway said, "Wow, this is great! I just shared it with my friends," and I went, "Oh, there's something to these Hangouts, And it just sort of morphed into, bringing guests on and having these conversations about being in business, and it just sort of grew from there. For people who are considering doing Hangouts, it is a commitment. And just like Melanie said, it's my Monday, and, the midweek zap is my Wednesday. I mean, that's it. That's what you do. There's preparation and promotion for the show, and then afterwards, following up on the information that was presented in the show and making sure that everything is, that I'm updating the YouTube listing, and that I'm updating my website, and also that the show is listed on IMDb. So it's a long day, and it's pretty much. I just want to stress to people who are thinking about it, it's very different than, say, hanging out on a blab, which is happening a lot now. People are blabbing, and you get on, people come on, and everybody leaves, and you can now embed your blab on your website. But I think one of the major differences now is that Hangouts on air, like this presentation right now, we have a number of people in community and in discussion, and Hangouts are really great for any kind of informational presentation. I really think something like Blab is a conversational vehicle, and that's fun. That's really great. But for doing any kind of informational presentation, I think that Hangouts just have a lot to offer. So that's my perspective. I do want to add that I have, because it takes so much time, I have cut back from weekly to monthly. And I was in discussion with several people that I've met on Google+. I mean, Google+ is just an incredible community. And talked about, one friend who was doing weekly shows and stopped December 31st of last year and said he did 4 times as much work. He got 4 times as much work done. And I'm finding that I get a lot more work done. And then Hangout was the focus, was becoming the focus of what I was doing, which was not what I wanted to be. So I cut it back. His suggestion was just stop doing them, which is what he did. But I really like the vehicle. I like the community, the people who show up regularly at the show, the Zapsters. They're just an incredibly knowledgeable and interactive community, sharing information, and I couldn't give that up. I just couldn't. There was a personal involvement there, so I just cut back to once a month, and I'm liking that. I have my business is writing, and writing takes time, and I have a lot of projects, so it helped me to cut back. I couldn't give it up, though. I love Hangouts. So that's something recent. That's just in the last couple of months.
Yeah, this is interesting. I think we should come back to that, the differences of the platforms, and also to the time-consuming thing, because most people think it's just an hour to talk, but they are not aware of the preparation and what you do afterwards. That comes also into the reason, why do we do that? And I wonder, for me, for instance, I haven't earned any money with doing the Hangouts. It's still, because we love it, and I wonder how it is for you. But first I want to give to the others I think Cherie is missing.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it took me quite a while to embrace Hangouts. I know Andy Lyons, I think many of you know Andy Lyons, was reaching out to me and encouraging me and saying, "Shri, this is your place. You know, you need to be here." And I got it. Like I understood why she was telling me that. I just, you have to be in a place, I think, to embrace something new, to make a commitment, to be purposeful and intentional with what you're doing and why. And so I think, I just waited, and I knew when it was time, I guess, to take the next step. And I was fascinated with Hangouts on Air because of the interaction, the sense of community, the level to which I was making like very genuine connections, like really meeting people I would never have met any other way than by either watching them and engaging them through Hangouts or watching the replays, participating in the comment streams, really getting to know somebody and see who they were, then wanting to spend more time with them, like, in the online version of the community. And so for me, it really helped me marry two separate pieces where I think initially years ago I had this like online vision of what was possible and what I wanted to create, and tried to create it without really having the infrastructure or the content or anything in place really. And so I kind of got burned out and went the complete opposite to just all local face in person kind of opportunities. And that's great too, but it's extremely time consuming and exhausting. And so when I embraced the Hangout world, for me, I was like, oh my goodness, I get to marry these two different things. And it actually taught me to understand and embrace social media in a way I never had before, to really understand the level of connection and community and friendships and collaboration, co-creation that was actually available. And I think to this day, I have such connection and friendships from people that I met on Hangout that I can't even compare to like people that I know, in any other way. So that was the big piece, I think, that really got me, okay, I'm ready for this, And then it helped me to really become consistent with one thing and really embrace it. And it got me into a flow I'd really never had before. So I hosted a show called Tappy Break. And for me, it was really content driven. I mean, if you're tapping, it's not always easy to engage because I'm very intuitively and into the moment. So the engagement comes before or after. And if no one shows up, it's kind of hard to have an interactive experience too. So you have to like be prepared, this is content. So if no one's here or not, that's okay, because this is something I want to provide for somebody. And so like I had to really, and it took a while, it takes a while of doing things to really get a sense of why am I doing this? What's the intention? What's the purpose? It helped me become, I think, more professional, more committed, just more comfortable on screen. And so that's where I started with it. I took a break back in, I think, July. Summer is a time for me to just kick back and not, and it's true, like, commitment. Tappy Break was Tappy Break. I showed up every week no matter what. Everything in my world revolved around Tappy Break. The blog posts that I wrote, the promoting, everything, and then you show up and then it's after the fact. So that for me was really good. I mean, it put me in a place where I had to show up on a regular basis. But I did take a break. I really need, I truly trust and know and honor who I am and what I need. And I haven't jumped back in yet. I haven't found my groove again. So I am in flux right now. I am exploring Blab. It's another forum, which I would never have been able to do if I hadn't had my Hangout experience. I've got connections there because of what I've had with Hangout. So I'm still right now looking at, do both? Do I choose one over the other? And so I'm just I'm sort of in flow right now in question, in experience, and sort of making a decision as to going forward, how do I embrace it, use it, keep it, not, whatnot. But I still love to participate, and I still think it's an amazing way to communicate. And I do agree, if you're creating content and you want more of a controlled space, that this is it. This is it, because you can really manage less interruptions. You can manage who's in the room or not in the room. You can manage whether we see each other or not. And when I did Tappy Break, I had people in the film strip because they would come in and just support me, and they loved to be there with me, but we didn't show them. And the fact that you had that option was really great. But the fact that if we wanted, like we're doing, have this conversation, this connection, we can. So that's kind of my experience and view on the Hangouts. I'm not ready to give them up.
I think that.
Yeah, Margherita, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that your answers are very, very, very accurate and interesting and valuable. But I want to add another thing to what all of you have said, and that is there was an idea of that when we are in a hangout, we are in sort of a mastermind set because we have many other hosts that are there. If they want to be a host for the hangout or whatever, we actually mastermind our way on hangouts, and we take the information that somebody has says and say, yeah, well, I could do that idea. Oh, come over to that. Okay, then I go there and interact with that. Oh, Crowdcast. Oh. And so there is like a massive masterminding function on Hangouts. First, I thought that the Hangouts would be like lectures and you're attracting client directly, but it's not exactly that, because for myself, my clients are not on Google very much. I think I have 2 clients on Google. That's really are good clients, and then some of them are never on Facebook either, because that's not part of my clientele. I have to have personal email connection or Skype connection with them, or personal connection in person, and that's also okay. But most of them are not on Google+. So what I've experienced is that to learn from other hosts, to be participating and sharing ideas, is widening the skills of us as hosts. And I think that we can take this to another level as well. I think Heidi has a comment there. Can you read that?
Yeah, because we have another Hangout host in the audience, and I'm just trying to see. Yeah, hosting Hangouts takes a lot. It's Vivek, by the way. Hosting Hangouts takes a lot of effort unless everyone is just rambling on. Especially if you have a specific topic and want to cover the topic, it takes days and days of preparation. I agree with Sarah and also with myself with the fact that have not earned anything to actually justify the time spent. But I think and hope all the effort will pay at the end. Yes, I think we do it too.
Let me interject a different view. Now we are on the idea that what do we get out? What is the return on investment of our time? Well, to me, when we give our time, this is how we have modernized our community service. We volunteer, like we could volunteer at a soup kitchen once a week. We could, pass out this or that. We can volunteer at a, outside. That's the way it used to be. But now with Hangouts, we volunteer in a different way. So that's what it is to me. So very few people, they don't know me. They don't know what business I'm really in, because we never talk about that on Lights Camera HOA. The only way they know is if my lower third happens to work, which today it does not. But it's that sense of when we have that drive within us that we want to give to our community, be it locally, like within the 10-mile radius, or we want to support a national cause or whatever it is, if we want to lick stamps and put them on envelopes. But now in 2013, 14, 15, and beyond, we can serve this way now. as our volunteerism. So if we look at it like that, I think you will have Hangout hosts less disappointed in what they get in return, because we don't do this we can't do this. It doesn't work to gain more clients or customers. It's our objective, really, the heart of our hearts, is just to give our time, and that's what we do.
Yeah, this is great, Melanie, because I think that's what keeps us doing it. Because otherwise, why would we? If we were in the earning mindset, every little thing we do needs to get money, we would have stopped a long time ago. Yeah. I would like to tell you a little bit how we came, Margherita and me, to do that. We did exactly 2 years ago. We did a course which was called the Confident Tailor Seminar Leaders, and that was to learn, to speak without making too many pauses and intervals. And I personally, I don't know Margherita, but I had a big inhibition because English is not my language, and sometimes I just stop because I don't find the words. And then I get ashamed and things like this. So we met and did the course together, and we learned something, at least me, probably Margherita will tell you later. And then we wanted to practice, and we found out about Hangouts, and we said, let's do some Hangouts, and we did it. And we, against the idea of our tailor seminar course leader, she said, no, Hangouts, no, blah, blah, webinar. What was it then? Go to webinar and meeting and things. They wanted us to do that one. And we said, no, we do that. And we just talked about topics we were interested in. It was just public. Maybe somebody saw it, and then later on YouTube somebody saw it, but we just got a little bit more of confidence. And then Melanie came in. I got the idea, somebody told me, in the Google Plus community, because I began to engage on Google Plus only half a year later, after we began with Hangouts. And somebody told me, you have to invite guests if you want to have more viewers. And so I invited Melanie, and she was our prime, how do you say?
Premier.
Yeah, that one. And it was great. And
which I didn't know at that time. You were so good at what you were doing. I found out later. I said, wow, that's pretty unique.
Yeah, no, and we... Yeah, okay, Margherita, go ahead.
Can I show you this? I did this on the fly here. This is how I see a Google Plus host, Hangout host. They are a community. They are lending their hearts and share a lot of content and ideas and things. I mean, I'm thinking of some guidance I got from what's her name with the video. Rain Dowell, right?
Oh, Rain.
Yeah, and then I said something, and then she came and suggested something to me, and then that works, and like it was kind of, how could that have happened if we didn't have this connection before? I mean, I'm getting goosebumps. So have you had any experiences like that, being helped by somebody directly with each other?
Wow, too many. I mean, yes. I couldn't. Well, first of all, Hangout it does take a level of commitment on your part. It isn't like you just jump in and do it. There's this stuff. There is things to learn. To find your way around. And I would not have been able to do that if it wasn't for the generosity and kindness of so many plussers who were just so willing to jump in a Hangout with me and spend some time with me and show me around. And and I did like join a community and a membership where I could really improve my skills in understanding it. And I did actually even hire a couple, private sessions at time for myself, but that was because of people showing up just to offer their assistance to me first, and we built that relationship. But the communities that are available through Google Hangouts, I mean, to this day, they just blow me away, and I've learned so much about just receiving as well as giving. I think there's the most generous people I have found in this forum. You know, I think we all come together and we're more than willing and happy to help each other and support each other and, you know, create a space for all of us to get our message out, make a difference, help. And Melanie, I love your perspective of this is a way we volunteer. And when you said that, like, my whole body just like lit up. You know, I mean, I think to some degree I got a little burned out for a while after Tappy Break, and although I was very clear and intentional that I was creating content that I could share, and it felt so good to be able to say in conversation or in a post or anywhere, hey, you know, just click on this link and there's 40 something, you know, now I can say there's like 40 something videos that to just help you get unstuck or move past this or do that. And to be able to just say that and like expect nothing in return and just offer that, it's a beautiful feeling. But I think every once in a while, because it was really time consuming and it was taking so much, I started to lose sight of that piece of it, you know, why I was really doing it. And so I love that perspective that, you know, we come in and we do these shows and we have these conversations and we share whatever it is we share, because it is a way for us to volunteer and share our gifts with the world and make a difference that isn't the same as maybe showing up in another way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, we have also to live somehow and earn some money, and when it's really time consuming, what time do we have left, or what other possibilities are there? I was wondering, Sarah, you tried with sponsorship. Did you succeed to find sponsors?
Nope.
Yeah.
No, but I went to I tried various avenues of doing that. It didn't happen, and so I let it go because that was taking time too. No, so now I just do the Hangout.
Mm-hmm.
You know, can I share just something quickly?
Yeah.
Because this is one thing that I did notice, like, really consistently when I was doing my Tappy Break every single week and I was in my flow. There wasn't a direct return on investment as like, oh, I did Tappy Break and I got clients, like direct clients as a result. But what I did get was I grew my community, my email community so much. Like I was seeing a daily number coming through of people signing up to receive my free gift, which gave me an opportunity then to develop a relationship with them in another way. And, you know, I think you can't ignore that there's a relationship there as well. Yeah. And as a result of that, I was able to say, okay, this is what's happened, and yes, I got clients. And you know, but so I think we have to remember that there's not always a direct ROI. And again, it comes back to your intention and your purpose. Are you doing your Hangouts because you directly are doing them to bring in money, or are you doing them because they're a form of marketing? It's something you enjoy. You're in a mastermind community. You're building relationships. So I think it always has to come back to your intention and your purpose, and reconnect to that and reevaluate that as well.
I think that's a very, very important point to do that, Jerry. And you know, coming from a marketing background, I worked in a multinational company a long time ago. This was sort of ingrained in my brain, and then I didn't want to actually think about selling or marketing. I wanted to do the healing, and that's where I woke up to the healing aspect of my right brain, and then the left brain sort of taggled along, and I think now these two parts here is connecting a little better. And so I see that one has to have a full spectrum holistic view of what one's life is about. And this is mostly what I do for my clients, to connecting the dots to see that, okay, I do this, oh, I can let go of that, right? So healing is that, to become free from perceived beliefs and stuff like that. And so in the process of this Hangout that I have done with Heidi for the last 2 years, I mean, we are almost at 100 episodes, and weekly I've done also seminars and webinars, and like for a while there I did 3 seminars a week. directly to clients or as a free content on my website. So I've really, I think it's about 300 hangouts I have done so far during these last 2 years. And I don't know, it's a lot of work, and I've also got some money from it. You know, like this is really cool, but one has to be strategic, and as you say, if you don't have the exact intention that you need, then if you don't have the intention, then everything from other people, it's like flowing like water wherever that other people are creating a way for the flow to go, instead of making your own river flow where you want it to go. Sometimes it's really important that we listen to our guidance and step aside and listen to other people and learning new things. Heidi pointed that out for me this morning, that you have to actually be present in each moment and see you can actually learn something new, even though you know everything, but you don't know everything.
I never pretend I know everything.
A person like me who has an incredibly strong ego, I can brag about that. It's not a really good thing, but a good ego can also take direction when the actual spirit inside says, I am not going to follow your little egotistic ways. How about doing it in this way? You will feel more better,
Margherita, I actually need to amend that. There was one time I realized that I do know everything, and that's when I'm talking to my husband.
Oh boy! Now we're getting into details here. Yes. Well, if we talk with the ultimate divinity, she, who is black, by the way, is going to tell you that you are right.
Oh, this is great.
I show evidence several times a day that I don't know everything. It is so evident. I can't fake my way through that.
Isn't there more freedom? Because I think, I don't know for myself personally, but especially in this arena that we're all in, where we're supposed to be experts, right, and show up, I think I limited myself so much because I was supposed to know everything, right? And I don't think I was nearly as creative or energetic or inspiring or motivational or healing, because I wasn't allowing a part of me to shine forth because I was so stuck in being afraid that I needed to know everything. And then I also didn't validate anything I did know, because I was always needing to know more. So for me, I think it was, and I am somebody who lives in my head, and I have to constantly get out of my own ego mind, Marguerite. Trust me, it's a battle always. But I have found more freedom, I think, since I've acknowledged for myself that I know a lot, it's great, and I know what I know, and I'm so grateful to have an open mind and an open heart, and to always be willing to learn more, or to, even when I think I know something, to be willing at least to find something else that can make its way inside of me to help me know something in a different way. And that is so freeing, but I have to remind myself it's a constant battle.
Oh yes,
This is great, Sherry. I want to go to this learning we can have exactly in what you are saying, because Google Hangouts gives us the opportunity to be open-minded and to find other ways. But if the things are not working, we have to find out how we can go around and bring out what we want to bring out. So it keeps us young.
Yeah, right. Every time we think we know what we know something in Google Hangouts, they show us that we really don't.
Yeah, for sure.
I've loved the ability for when, because this medium isn't perfect, and there are technological glitches in Hangouts, from time to time. We learn how to be graceful and funny and authentic under pressure and under glitches. And this forum is wonderfully instructive. Every time somebody's watching a show and they see us handle the fluffles that happen, they learn, yeah, you can do it with levity, you can get on through, and we're good models. And with the way technology is changing so rapidly with all these new mediums and all platforms, they're all evolving, they're all changing, and if we can support and with levity get on through the changes, experience relationship with each other in just lots of fun ways.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool, though? Thank you, Elaine, for saying that. But, the authentic self never changes. And these expressions in the different channels can be different, but it has to come from a place of authenticity. And when we know that authenticity, then the messages we send out come from the same place. And if everybody does that, then it doesn't matter what channel we're using. It doesn't matter which channel we're using.
Margherita, we will do telepathy soon, so we don't need Google Hangouts anymore.
Will be maybe sometime in the future. I really take you as my teacher for telepathy. Yes.
Okay.
And I say goodbye, Sherry.
We are quite at the end of our time, and I would like to give everybody a closing word. So, fortunately, we have another show in 15 minutes. So, who wants to start?
I will. I usually jump in when there's that little quiet thing going on. It's because I'm used to being pushed. I grew up being pushed, and that has benefited me. It's funny that as we've known people during our long lives, I've had a long life, still continue to have one. But when we meet people along the way that have passions, like some people love to knit. Love to knit, and they have knitting clubs, and they have new projects, and when they tell you they're so passionate and you don't knit, you're like, wow, but their passion shows. And it's the same way when we do a broadcast. Our passion shows, and if our passion doesn't show, we're not going to retain any viewers. We're not going to gain any viewers because they know that it is a struggle. So some people knit, some people bake, some people like topiary, making those bushes look so fantastic. I mean, whatever it is, that's the passion. And right now for me, my passion is this type of interaction and helping people get beyond where they are right now. So this is a way that we do respect each other's passions. When we have a guest on a show and their passion happens to be I don't know, something that I've never done, wood carving, that's their passion. I wouldn't even know how to do that, but I feel their passion and others feel it too. So just if you have passion for something, do that. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Melanie. Who comes next?
I'll go. I would just like to end with saying video engagement is vibrant and Hangouts are helpful. Why are we here, on the planet at this time? We're here to each listen into our hearts for the guidance to say, how can I be helpful? And so this is a great way to experience what I'll even call a holy, helpful, healing relationships with, lots of other people on the planet. Be helpful and carry on with more ease and grace. I love Hangouts. I love video engagement.
Yeah, thank you, Elaine. Who's next?
I guess I'll go. Just closing closing arguments. No. I say that, but honestly, because I am still, I'm in the, I haven't committed, I haven't fully committed back to Hangouts. So,
Yet.
this has been wonderfully instructive and healing for me to re-engage again, from a different and remind myself why I started them in the first place, and realize I am missing them. I'm loving Blab. I'm not going to I'm not going to be dishonest there. I love Blab. It's just an easier forum for me, and it's a different forum. However, Hangouts have their value, and again, I think I've realized today that it is not, it's something I want to recommit to. So this has been helpful for me to be able to say that, and to know that, and have that sense of integrity. I would just have this say, anyone who's listening, you have to find your vehicle. How do you best express yourself? How do you best relate and communicate and commune? There's many ways out there. Video engagement, Elaine, I agree. For me, I know, I do best when I'm in collaboration. I do best when I'm in conversation. My energy flies when I have somebody else to around me. And so much of what we do in the businesses we're all in, we're alone. So to have the opportunity to show your best self, to show up with integrity and with your personality, to share your passion, and to be in community with other amazing, like-hearted, like-minded souls, it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. So if it's something you've wanted to explore or you're looking at exploring, just do it. And you know what? There's any of us in this room that would be happy to help you get started.
Great. Thank you. And Sarah, your last word.
Well, I just like that about the Hangout community in and of itself is just what Sherry said. People really do help each other. So for those who are considering hosting Hangouts, there are people you can reach out to, and there are glitches, and there are technical glitches, and they come at the most amazing times. I mean, you can get shut out of your own Hangout, and so there's help for all the technical things, because it's true. I think everybody has said this in one way or another, that you don't just start the Hangout and it happens and then it's gone, and that there are a lot of technical things for getting ready, and there are technical ways of proceeding through the Hangout, and including having your guests show up on the panel or not. I think Margherita said she started with people there, but nobody saw them. So there are a lot of ways for you to utilize the vehicle, that the live video vehicle of Hangouts. And there are people there. There's just people. It's a community. So, and anyway, I want to thank you, Heidi, for inviting me. This has been really amazing. Thank you so much.
And thank you that you got up so early in the morning for being with us. It's really a big thing. I think we should, once in a time, we should repeat this, because it's really, for me, I'm doing my last word, and then Margherita, you. For me, it was very instructive to talk with you about your experiences, and it gets a different perspective if you hear everybody's ideas about it, and you get yourself in a different place. At least for me, it's so. And I thank you, everybody, very, very much that you came. And now over to Margherita.
Okay, so my takeaway here is the overwhelming gratitude to all of you who came here today, and all of other hosts who have supported our Heidi's and my Hangout, to actually be able to do it most every week for the last 2 years. it is being the steady point in the week. It makes me go up earlier that day. It makes me having a great habit to go to, and then build from there all the other things around it. And maybe that's not something that you are all doing, but for me it is this stable point. I'm a recluse. I could live in a monastery somewhere very, very far away in eastern Tibet or whatever. Uh, that would be who I am. I'm an incredible introvert. And by having this medium, I have a chance to be in my hermitage here outside of Kingston, far away from everyone, and still have this wonderful connective audience and collaborators or co-hosts. So thank you very much for coming today, and I hope that we all can connect again. And that's the final word for this show.
Yeah,
So,
thank you. And
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Thank you.